Can you comment on government research? I work in the government, and so my topics, I don't really have that autonomy. I'm working with an assigned topic, or can you help so-and-so write an article? Can you do the statistics for so-and-so? Or I'm sometimes just a research assistant for someone's article, and maybe I get my name on it. Meanwhile, I'm part-time in grad school, so I'm not really looking at an academic career. I'm looking at a long government career.
Well, and that means that in some ways you don't have some of the same pressures to define that here, right? Somebody else is defining what you're doing. So you're part-time in grad school and you're getting the graduate qualifications, which are going to be necessary to advance in your career with the government, right?
Yeah.
And so then I think your goals are really much more about what do you think are the skills and the research knowledge you're going to need in order to be able to move in the way that you want to do within the government, right? And how will you be in a position to be doing more of the stuff that you really like and you think you're really good at, right? And how can you use your graduate degree to help you do that? Because you just have a different kind of career to manage. In a lot of ways, you're not in a place where you need to, right?
Well, most of the people at work, a large part of them are PhDs or master's students.
Yeah, so you need the qualification.
So I need to be able to talk academically. I need to understand academic arguments. I need to understand how to phrase research or questions or just writing. That all helps, to do the work there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the kinds of stuff that I was talking about is once you get beyond that and then you have all this autonomy, that isn't as much of an issue for you. So you're much more, you can be much more focused in your choice of topic for your thesis and things to be things that are, relevant to the kind of work that you're doing or even to the career that you would like to have once you get this qualification within the government, like give you some in-depth knowledge in a particular area so that you can develop a career in that area. And making sure that you're getting the kinds of research skills that you need, right? Like if you're often called upon to do quantitative research, maybe, making sure that you get the really good quality training in that and that you're really developing your skills and knowledge in that area. So I think you face a very different environment.
What I find is if I develop an interest in reading and I read a lot about it, then at work I can find, someone's going to do a paper on this. Oh, well, kind of, maybe I can get in there and do that paper.
Exactly.
So it's sort of like I can choose topics, but they can't really last for long.
No.
Funding.
And that can be an interesting career in and of itself. In the sense that, for some people, they much prefer that. They prefer to kind of work in that more collaborative environment, and there are a lot of, for everybody else, there are a lot of people with MAs and PhDs working in government, and that is an option for a lot of people, and it's not just people with really practical, kind of applied degrees either. Like there's historians, there's loads of historians. I don't know what your field is, but
Statistics. Well, I work at Statistics Canada.
You work at Stats
So I
Canada.
wrote a paper on the internet piece.
Yeah.
And I wrote another paper on people retiring and their financial literacy.
Yeah, and lots of interesting stuff, but even in other departments. And I think there's a talk in this series about careers in the government coming up. So there might be somebody in there that has some other advice as well, though you're already in there and you're just doing that's not as much of my specialization, but I think it is a very different research environment than the university environment. And that's one of the things that people need to think about if they decide not to go on to an academic career, that the kinds of writing will be very different and much more collaborative.